Hello guys, previously we have discussed about the minimum acceptable standards in constructions regarding the mobile elevated work platform or MEWP. Today I would like to discuss the minimum acceptable standards of traffic operations and controls. So let's begin. Minimum requirements. One rules legal or contractual requirements shall always take precedence. Higher standards shall be adopted wherever practicable. General requirements. All personnel tasked with working in live traffic operations must first undertake the traffic operation course. So nobody is allowed to work on the live traffic or besides the live traffic without the having or undertaking the course for traffic operation safety. Traffic team members should be physically fit, especially regarding eyesight and hearing. So make sure that our involved teams in doing the job in the traffic team area should have a good eyesight and hearing. Traffic team members must have a working knowledge of relevant authorities' traffic management manual. So if you are working, like for example, you are working in Dubai, you should have a working knowledge about the RTA traffic management manual, or in Abu Dhabi you should have a Department of Transportation traffic management procedures. All specific details regarding maximum speed, delineation, zoning, etc. are detailed in manual and shall be adhered to. All traffic controls, vehicles must be available before commencing traffic operations. So I will discuss to you what is that those traffic control vehicles before the commencing of traffic operations. The following designated traffic control vehicles shall always be available for live traffic operations. No personnel shall ever work on live roads without the required traffic control vehicles below in place. Okay, number 1, advance warning vehicles. This advance warning vehicle is used in advance of works, providing early warning to vehicles or approaching vehicles up to 1 km. Tail vehicle used at the tail of the works, providing advance warning and divert traffic around work area. Shadow work vehicles provides close protections to workers on foot. So this is the one almost immediately besides the work area. Lead vehicle used in front of works such as line marking on two-way roads to alert vehicles coming from opposite direction. All traffic controls vehicles shall be fitted with the following lights units as applicable. Type 1, panels intended for roof mounting on light vehicles. Okay, so there is a panels intended for the roof mounting on light vehicles. So like for example on the side there is a panel of traffic controls lights units, so you can see there on the type 1. Type 2, panels intended for cab mounting on track, so you will place it into the track. Type 3, panels intended for trailer mounting with own power supplies. Like for example here, this is the type 3, panels intended for trailer mounting on own power supply. So there's a battery, and there is also this is also a trailer that you can leave everywhere in the designated area without engaging it into the track. Okay, so the type 1 is 600 by 200, 1200 millimeter in size. The minimum number of lamps is 12. Minimum candle power is 100. Minimum legibility distance is 800 meters. So it should be stalled in 800 meters. You can see still this type 1 from the 800 distance. Type 2 750 millimeter by 1500 millimeter. Minimum number of lamps is 13, and minimum candle power is 7000. Minimum legibility distance is 1200 meters or 1.2 kilometers, and type 3 is 1200 by 2400 millimeters. 15 lamps as minimum. Minimum candle power 8800 foot per candle. Minimum legibility distance is 1.6 kilometers. So from the distance of 1.6 kilometers, it should be visible and legibility or legible. Workers shall always work directly behind the designated shadow work vehicles. So that the intention of this is when there is a traffic accident involving the motorists, the workers working on the area is protected by these shadow vehicles, or we call it a crash vehicle. Vehicles drivers will remain in the vehicle at all times. So the driver of this vehicle should be inside of the vehicle at all times. Additional spotters and flagmen will be used as required dependent on road conditions, but shall never be placed in live traffic areas without suitable protection from concrete, metal barriers, etc. So in the traffic condition that there's a need of spotters or flagmen, make sure that we provided additional spotters, but make sure that they are protected with the concrete barriers and metal barriers or any types of hard barriers. Flagmen shall never be placed on road exceeding 80 km per hour. So the flagmen only can control the roads where the traffic's speed limit is less than 80 km per hour. All workers involved in the traffic operation shall wear high visibility clothing or high visibility vests. There are work zone traffic management or 5 major zones. Number 1, advanced warning area. Speed reduction, advanced warning devices. And the length of advanced warning should reflect traffic speed. Okay, as you can see here, advanced warning area on this sketch on the top. So from this location up to the first barrier of your work area, okay, we call it advanced warning area. So this is to allow the motorist to adjust to the work ahead without having trouble in the diverging or merging to the left of the traffic, as you can see in these photographs or in the sketch. Transition area where traffic may be moved as possible. So this is the transition area. That means from the first barrier that you provided and the signage that you provide, vehicle signage that you provided, the second signage that you provided, and from this location there is a transition that the traffic or the motorists will divert their lanes on the left. This is the transition area. This is more dangerous area than the advanced warning area. Okay, stabilization area, immediately advance of work area with high traffic speed or volume, also where work area is hidden from the road users. Okay, so in the stabilization area, this is the area that the speed and volume of the traffic is already stable. But in this location, the motorist cannot see the work area because of the height of the barriers that you provided. So they don't know that there are some person or there are works ongoing on their on the sides of the live traffic. So this is we called a stabilization area. Work area, so it's very important. This in the shaded red color, shaded area of red color. This is, we call it the work area. Okay. And termination area, the traffic returns to normal part. So in this termination area, from the work area up to the last barriers and signages, this is the area that the construction work area is terminated, and you have signage that the motorist can now in the normal flow of traffic. Specified distances for all 5 zones are to be available in the site specifics. So when we are doing the preparation for the traffic operations, we need to identify the distances for all 5 zones, so that it will be more safe to our work area. Traffic and logistics plans and communicated to relative staffs during the traffic control training. So make sure that all the traffic and logistic plan is communicated to all staffs, including the workers, so that they will strictly obey on this plan. No works on live traffic areas shall be undertaken unless the traffic management plan has been compiled, detailing traffic zones distances, buffer zones, signages, traffic controls, vehicle placing, delineations such as cones, barriers, etc., in line with the relevant authority traffic management manual. So we need to make sure that before we start the job, traffic management plan is prepared in compliance or in line with the traffic management manual from the local authority. This is the barriers. Wherever there is an assessed risk that live traffic could enter a site area following an incident or otherwise, concrete barriers shall be installed. So these barriers shall be banded together, like for example, as you can see in these photographs of there is a banded on the joint of the barriers. This is additional banded. There is also lock on it, and make sure that there is a blinkers on a safe distance on the perimeter of these barriers, concrete barriers. These concrete barriers is to protect our workers doing the job inside of our work area in case of there is sudden collision from the motorists in the live traffic. Plastic netting or barrier tape shall never be used as primary worker protection to control work areas on or close to live roads. So this plastic barrier or only netting is not a primary control. This will serve only as a warning to the motorist, but is not shall not be or shall never be as primary protection to our workers on live roads. So always use the hard barriers like the concrete barriers. This includes pedestrian walkways, cycle routes, and public access area. The proprietary barriers or handrails shall be used. So when there is pedestrians, so we need to make sure that there is barriers and handrails installed on it. So in the pedestrian access, we cannot make them safe in the installation of the nettings and plastic barriers, except if you are fixed it properly. Traffic cones with warning tapes shall only be used as delineation leading up to control for controlled work areas and not to provide workers protection at any time. So you can see on the photographs here, so this is the work area and this is the approaching or advanced warning area. Okay, and behind of this there is some traffic cones as well. We call it the termination area. So we need to make sure that this is properly arranged as per the traffic management plan before we can allow our workers to start the job at the site. Signages. All signage types, materials, size, illumination, spacing, and frequency shall comply with the relevant authority traffic management manual. So we need to check if our signages is complying with the our signages are complying with the relevant traffic management manuals from the authority. Shall be displayed in the local language and English as required, and if you have a common language you can also put it there, but this is the minimum to the local language and English language. Signage shall be supported by sandbags, weights, or fixing as applicable. This is to prevent falling into live roads, obstructing traffic, or posing a risk to pedestrians, including public. For excavation on the traffic areas, all excavation close to live roads shall be suitably protected and illuminated at all times. Where a risk of work or private vehicles or workers and members of the public can enter. Buffer zones shall be implemented as per relevant authority requirements. Concrete barriers shall be the primary worker protection method and sufficient illumination to be provided. If plastic barriers are to be used due to the location or access restriction, then they must be filled with water, interlock each other as per manufacturer's specifications. Handrails or barriers can be used for pedestrian protection, provided suitable strength and height are implemented. This must be maintained for the duration of the works. Spoils from excavation shall never pose a risk to vehicles or pedestrians or workers. So the issue here in the spoils, if you place the spoils without barricading it with visible signages and lightings, it will be hit by the motorists, and there is a motor vehicle accident may happen in your work area. I saw one pickup. Then when they hit the spoils materials besides of the road, it's fly out on the sky, and then going like in the movies, fly on the sky and then fall on the inverted positions. Luckily the driver will not get hurt, but still this is a disaster, because if this is in the very busy traffic, it will collide so many vehicles. We can call it multiple collisions, and you are the responsible persons, or you are the responsible company on this accident because of your uncontrolled spoils materials on the traffic roads or operations. Public access and protections. All pedestrian walkways must be a minimum of 1.2 meters wide, cycle routes a minimum of 2 meters wide. So we need to maintain even we are doing the job on that location, we need to maintain this as minimum of 1.2 meters. If there is a pedestrian walkways, you are providing pedestrian walkways, and if this is a cycle routes, you need to maintain the minimum 2 meters wide. Safe access shall also be provided for any local residents or businesses entrance affected by the work. So if you are doing the excavation in the front of business entrance or access, so you need to coordinate with the business owners how you are going to excavate that location without interrupting their business. So either you will excavate it into their off time, like for example, when there is no office time, and then making sure that the job is completed on before they resume the normal working hours. So on this purpose, you need to have a careful planning to make sure that all materials, all resources needed to complete the job on that certain durations is available, so that you can complete the job on the time frame. But if you cannot complete the job on the given time frame, then it is better again to backfill and reinstated that entrance to make sure that on the next day the business is running smoothly. Where a risk from falling objects material exceeds overhead, protection shall be implemented, designed to provide adequate protections. So when there is a risk of falling objects or materials, so you need to provide overhead protections and designed to provide adequate protection as well in the public. So when you are doing when you have a excavation on the sides of the public, so you need to make sure that there is also a falling objects protection on the perimeter of your excavations, or your people or the people will not fall into your excavation, especially on the night when there is no light and the people are already tired, so they are not alert to see your excavation. So make sure that all necessary controls to protect your excavation, to protect the people from falling to your excavation is provided. Where safe access cannot be provided, alternative safe temporary routes shall be established. So when you are doing the excavations and you cannot provide the safe access because of the nature of your job, you need to make an alternative safe access for the pedestrians or anyone, or including to your workers. So maybe you will reroute the pedestrian access to another location until your job is completed in the pedestrian access. Side materials, waste, skips, etc. shall never block the pedestrian access. When you are putting the materials, make sure it is not placed on the pedestrian access, including your waste, including your skips. So make sure you have a designated location for all of those materials and waste. So for no objection certificates, no work on public highways, residential roads, or walkways until the relevant NOC has been obtained from the controlling authority. So when you are doing the job on the public highways, so you make sure that you have a no objection certificate before you started the job. So you need to coordinate it in advance before the actual work, so that you will not be in trouble, or you will start the job on time and you will complete the job on time. A copy of NOC will be displayed on the work area for review of the authority, inspectors, or anyone has the authority to inspect your locations. There may be instances where a police escort will be needed, road closures, road diversion, etc. This will be undertaken as per authority requirements. So when you are making a road closure or for your road diversions, okay, based on the experience, it's very dangerous because imagine when motorists, they are not familiar about the road diversion, so they are the same speed. When the time they pass on that location is very totally different on this time. So you need to coordinate with the police and ask the permit from the police for this road closure and road diversions or any other types of job on the road, especially on busy roads. Okay guys, we have completed the traffic operations and controls. On our next tutorial, we will discuss the lifting operations and cranes. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed the training. Thank you.